PapaKennMedia.
Hi everybody, and welcome to a brand new PapaKenn Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the graphic novel Yi Soon-Shin, Warrior and Defender. Yeah, Warrior and Defender. And it's by Onrie Kompan, a man that I actually had the privilege of meeting last year at C2E2 in Chicago. And when I got this graphic novel, I intended on reviewing it. And it wasn't until after I finished reading it that I realized I'm not really the right kind of person, at least in my mind, to review graphic novels. Now, I've done reviews for movies, recently started doing TV shows as well, but just for some reason I felt like a review from me for graphic novel just wouldn't be powerful enough. But I'm going to do my best, and really that's why it's taken so long for me to get this review out, is just I kept second guessing myself, kept changing the review, being constantly unsure of myself, but as I said, I'm going to give it my best shot and introduce you to the honestly wonderful graphic novel known as Yi Soon Shin.
Yi Soon Shin, Warrior and Defender, is a graphic novel that comprises the first 4 issues of the Yi Soon Shin series created by author Onrie Kompan. The rest of the creative team includes Giovanni Timpano, who is the artist, Adriana De Los Santos, the colorist, Saavedra, the letterer, and David Anthony Kraft, the co-writer/editor of the series. To give you an idea of what Yi Soon Shin is about, here is a quote from the Yi Soon Shin Facebook page. The graphic novel is a limited series based on the true story of Admiral Yi Soon Shin, a Korean naval commander who saved his people from Japanese invasion forces during the Imjin War, which lasted from 1592 to 1598. Now, to get into the actual review and rating breakdown for the graphic novel, first let's talk about the story. Now, the story itself is crafted around the life of Yi Soon Shin and his military experiences during the Imjin War. Onrie Kompan took these already interesting events and historical figures involved and crafted a compelling story filled with effective drama, surprises, and breathtaking visuals that kept me gripped throughout the entire graphic novel. Now, there were occasional lines of dialogue that felt slightly awkward and made me chuckle a little to myself a bit in situations that within the story really shouldn't have sparked such a reaction from me. These are extremely rare, however, and are most likely a result of my stupid sense of humor. Now, next let's talk about the characters. Now, keep in mind I'm not familiar with the real-life historical figures that the characters within the graphic novel are based on. Practically every character in the primary and secondary roster has been crafted in a way that makes them not only interesting, but feel like a real person. A must, considering that many of them are based on real people. And especially, of course, Yi Soon Shin, who is the focus of the story at large. Third, the art. It is absolutely beautiful. Giovanni Timpano's work as the primary artist is beautiful. People look like people. The objects and weapons, both large and small, are capable of inspiring intimidation and looking as if you could reach out to touch them, and the fighting and violence is visceral and epic in scale. And then Adriana De Los Santos, the colorist for the series, takes these drawings and gives them life. The colors give everything in the graphic novel a stunning appearance that walks the line, in my opinion, between a photograph and a painting. And if you take both of these talents and combine them, it results in visuals that I can honestly only describe as rivaling Alex Ross's work in Kingdom Come and Marvels, 2 of my personal favorite graphic novels. And finally, myself being a fan of behind the scenes and how things work, we actually have some nice extras within the graphic novel. The first of these include Onrie Kompan's diary, which includes how the Yi Soon Shin comics and graphic novel came to be, including how he met Stan Lee, who wrote the foreword for the graphic novel. We also have interviews with the rest of the creative team, character profiles, which includes some amazing artwork of each character listed, and a cover gallery which shows the cover art for all 4 issues that are included. Now, I do have one small minor gripe here, and that's that I wish that this gallery had included full page sized representations of each cover. We do get the art of each cover earlier in the graphic novel before each chapter starts, but I do wish that I had been able to get a full page of each of them with the lettering and everything on the page itself. But again, that's just a very minor gripe on my personal account. Now, before I get into my overall thoughts on this graphic novel, here are some things to keep in mind. First, this is by all means an adult-themed comic book. There is blood, gore, dismemberment, and nudity in addition to some occasional bad language. This is not a comic book for your children to read. Second, historic purists might take issue with the way some events and characters are portrayed. Keep in mind that this is a story based upon Yi Soon Shin's life and takes artistic license in order to construct an interesting story that translates well to the comic book medium. And finally, overall, I honestly feel that Yi Soon Shin, Warrior and Defender is easily one of the best graphic novels I have read in years. It sits alongside my Lock and Key series, the Walking Dead series, and the Ultimates Volumes 1 and 2 as my most frequently revisited graphic novels. And really, that's the most praise I can give to any graphic novel I read. I can really enjoy the art, the story of a graphic novel, but for me, what really says it's my favorite is how often I go back and reread it. And since I acquired this last year, I would say I have reread this graphic novel at least 10 times. And I suppose it goes without saying that I highly recommend you purchase and acquire this graphic novel whenever you get a chance. You can do so by going to yisunshin.com, and you can click the link at the top of the page where you can buy it either directly through Onrie Kompan, or you can go to the Amazon page and purchase it there.
Everyone, thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about the graphic novel Yi Soon Shin. As I said already, I highly recommend getting this graphic novel if you get a chance. Either go to the website that I'll provide in the description or here on the screen. Go there, you can purchase it directly through the website. There's also a link to purchase it through Amazon. Or if you're going to be in the Chicago area, well, as of this recording next weekend, or the weekend of the April 25th through 27th, C2E2 will be going on, and if you're going to be there, look up Onrie Kompan's booth. Look up his booth, and I'll actually provide the location or like the booth number here on the screen and in the description. You can also look it up on the C2E2 website. Go check it out. Purchase the graphic novel if you have the money, or you can purchase the issues individually. As said earlier, this collects the first 4 issues, and I believe he's going to be releasing the first issue of what will be the second volume in this story. Everyone, again, thank you very much for watching this review, and I will see you next time on the next Papa Ken Reviews. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see more graphic novel reviews from me, let me know. I really like reading them and would probably give an interesting take on the graphic novels, to say the very least. Okay, bye.